Hello again, YouTube people. What is going on? I'm still over here on this bench and I was thinking about something else. And this has to do with family and friends. Okay? Maybe, just maybe, you've had this situation happen to you. And I experienced this on my own also. As I told you, growing up, my parents were super great to me. But I know that there are people out here that have family members, and parents especially, that feel like they want the best for their child. Yet they try to make the decisions for their children, and it's not always the best decision. Okay, for example, I know I told you I wasn't going to talk about any of my exes, but I have to use my ex-wife as an example again. Okay, my ex-wife is from the Philippines. She's from a city called Caloocan, and I met her mother and father. I told you about that before. I met her mother first, and her mother said that I basically was not good enough for her daughter. And, you know, I took it to heart at first. I really did. And then when I decided to marry her in 1988, I gave her an engagement ring December 24th, 1988. And almost 2 years went by and she didn't tell anybody. I don't even think she showed her ring to anybody or anything like that. It was April 17th, 1990, that we actually went into her mother and father's house, and we had this talk, and I talked about this in my other video, but one thing I did not say was that when her mother went back to the bedroom and came back out, I asked my ex-wife, and I did say this, what did she want to do? And when she said to both of her parents, I want to go with him, I really deeply respected her for that, because she took initiative and spoke out. She was 25 and I was 23. And she spoke out and said, I'm going with him. I'm going to marry him. Her father kept quiet, but her mother did not. Her mother went back to the bedroom. She threw something at the door and slammed the door, and came back out and looked me in the face and said, you are not taking my daughter anywhere. She's not going with you. And my ex-wife said to her again, I am going with him. And then her mother was crying and looking at the carpet, and she looked up at me and pointed at me and said, go to hell and take her with you. That is what I did not say. Okay? And respectfully, okay? We come from two different cultures, her and I. And I understand that, yet it was very much with a lot of respect that I really gave her a lot of respect for saying that to them, that she was going to marry me, even though they basically didn't approve. Her father was kind of so-so. He was wishy-washy. He actually took us to the Justice of the Peace where we signed the papers, and we were legally married that day. Okay? But her mother didn't want anything to do with it. And as time went on, her mother started, you know, getting to know me a lot better, and things became a lot better in that time. And the day that her father died, her mother actually asked me outright, and everybody in the family, but I was one of them, and she looked at me and said, what is your decision as far as he was concerned? Because he was put on life support. He was in the hospital. And I didn't really want that responsibility, but I don't like to play with Mother Nature. Let's just put it that way, I don't want to play God to anybody. So if a person is on life support, I think for me, the best thing is to take that person off of life support. And if they can recover after that, then that's God's will. But if they can't, then that's also God's will. It's God's will whether they die or not. But living on a machine is really not the answer for anybody. We all want to keep our relatives. We all want to keep our friends and this and that. But when all is said and done, we have to do what we feel in our hearts is the best to do. And I was one of those ones that said I didn't want to see him on life support. And her two daughter-in-laws said the same thing. Her youngest son said the same thing. And my ex-wife said the same thing. Her older brother was the only one that really said, let's just keep him there and see what happens. But I guess he got voted out on it because she decided that she wanted to take him off the life support. And he passed away shortly after. It wasn't a long run, and he didn't suffer or anything like that. Okay. So, if you come from a different country, because I'm in the USA, okay? Maybe you come from a different country. Maybe you come from the Philippines, like my ex-wife. Who knows? But if your parents or parent, if you have a father and no mother, or if you have a mother and no father, and maybe your siblings or just anybody that influences you in your life, your friends or cousins, uncles, aunts, whatever, if they decide that this is best for you, leaving one person and going to another person, and they approve of it, and then you go into that situation and it doesn't work, you should try to get out of that situation. Even if you married that person, maybe you're trying to do the right thing and staying with that person or whatever, but it isn't working for you and you don't like to be with that person. So you want to be with a different person. Your heart is over here with this person from before, and your mind and your body is over there with somebody else, and they're a tyrant, and they don't want you to do anything that you want to do. They're trying to control you at every stop. They don't care what it is. They want to have control over you. No matter what, they want control. If they don't want you chatting with somebody, you're not going to chat with them. If they don't want you saying anything to your sisters or your brothers or your mother or your father, whatever it is, you're not going to do it because they want control over you at all costs. Whatever it is. And you're not happy. And you feel stuck, like you can't get out of that situation. Now is the time for you to become an adult. And it doesn't matter if you're in a different country or whatever. At one point in time in our life, we have to stand up for ourselves. and sit each individual person down. Don't try to do it in a group or anything like that, because it's not going to work. It won't work, because they're going to team up on you and you're going to be right back to the same situation you're in. But each individual person in your family, within your circle of friends and this and that, maybe all of them don't approve of the person that your heart is with. But that's your heart, and that's your best friend, and that's your soulmate, and maybe even twin flame. I don't know, because, like I said, I don't know that I believe in a twin flame, but it could be, However, if you believe that person is your soulmate and your heart is still over with that person, you need to just sit your parents down, your mother, your father, whichever, both, your siblings, one at a time, and talk to them individually and tell them what you want in your life, what you feel good with. Maybe that person that you used to be with made you the happiest of everybody else, and they love you unconditionally, and they would do anything for you. Anything. Maybe. But you're in a stuck position because you're not opening your mouth. You're just living in this pain and this suffering. You are suffering big time. And all you can do is think about this person over here that has your heart. They have your heart. You think about them constantly. You stalk their social media constantly. And you love them unconditionally. And you don't want anybody but that person. The best thing in the world that you can do is talk to each individual person. And then when you get done talking to them, go back to that person that has your heart and give them an apology and tell them earnestly everything, every little thing. Give them an apology if you have to, if that's what it takes. And tell them, look, I loved you. I love you unconditionally. I love you with all my heart, with all my soul. And I can't think of anybody that I would rather be with than you. When you were in my life, you made me the happiest person that I ever could be. And I haven't met anybody like you. Nobody compares to you. And I don't care if you're a different race, or you're older, or you're younger, or whatever you are. It doesn't matter for me, because I want you in my life. If you will accept me, I will be eternally grateful for it. And just tell that person. Tell them everything, because apparently you've always told them everything in your past anyways, because they are your best friend, and you've always leveled with them on that account. You've always told them everything that goes on with you. So be honest with them. Tell them how you feel. Tell them that you've missed them without any doubts, and that you truly want them back into your life, and that you're very sorry for what you have done, and tell them exactly what it is you've done. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. They're going to listen to you. They will listen to you. And after you get done with it, you're going to feel so much better. Maybe they don't take you back. Maybe they do. But you will never find out if you don't say anything at all. you keep quiet, they might end up meeting somebody new and getting married. And then because I said you're stalking their social media, maybe you see pictures of them on Facebook or whatever, Instagram or whatever, and they're traveling the world with this person. And all you can think about is, wow, that could have been me. I love that person so much. That's my best friend. They're everything to me, and they ended up getting married to this other person, and all I can do is just sit back and watch it. That's all I can do. It's up to you, but if it was me, I would definitely go for it. What can you lose? Seriously, what can you lose? At least I would know. I would know whether or not it was meant to be. And if it was, then great. If it wasn't, then great. But at least I would know. I would know 100%. So anyways, I just wanted to say that I know that there are people out here that are like that. Maybe you're from the Philippines, like I said, just like my ex-wife. And, I know your cultures are a little bit different. And you might be from a different country also, because there's a lot of different countries that are like that, cultural-wise. You listen to what your parents say, whether you're 30, 40, 50 years old, until they pass away, and then you have a mind of your own. But you can't wait around for your parents to pass away and then make that decision, because you're already old then. So you just got to level with them. Tell them, this person has my heart, and you approved of somebody that doesn't. And they don't want my best of interest. They really don't care about me. All they want is whatever they can get from me, because that is what they're trying to do, is disrupt my whole life. And they don't care about me. Even if you're married to them, just leave them. I'm not really big with divorce. I did divorce my ex-wife. I told you that. The other girl was annulled because she was illegal, and I am legal in my own country, so it was easy out of that one. But my ex-wife, sure enough, now she's the one that granted me the divorce. I mean, I didn't ask for it. She gave it to me. So, but I wasn't about to go back with her, because she tried to play doctor and told me that she wasn't bipolar and wasn't schizophrenic, and 3 doctors, as I said, told me that she was. And just one doctor that she went to, I didn't take her to that doctor. She went by herself. And then she threw the medicine in the toilet, and she didn't take it anymore. And after that, she became real wild. And I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I really couldn't. I asked for forgiveness, and I was forgiven for that. And we got a divorce, and like I said, my life became so much better after that. But anyways, think about what I just said, because nobody should live with somebody that they don't want to live with. And you might wake up 20 years from now and say, why in the heck did I ever stay with that person? So anyways, I hope that you learned something from this. If you did, great. If you didn't, what can I say? I want you to know that I love you so very, very much. Love yourself, love God, and by all means love each other, people. Until the next time, love, peace, and soul.